So if you're as big of an Over the Garden Wall fan as I am, you've heard all the fan theories and trivia. Beatrice is named after the character from Dante's Inferno, the unknown is a quasi-afterlife, but what about the little blink-and-you-miss-it details you didn't notice the first time? Pat McHale and his creative team added a lot of bonuses, references, and extras to the series, ranging from glaring to subtle. There's so many, I'm only going to talk about the ones that you can see on screen, no behind the scenes. Did you pick up on any of these? Did I miss any big ones? Tell me in the comments below. And hopefully you know this, but spoilers ahead. 1. A freeze frame of Beatrice shows not only her dog, which we meet in the old grist mill, but the bluebird she'll throw a rock at. 2. What's a circus got to do with anything? Well, that gorilla looks familiar. 3. We see the McLaughlin Brothers Ferry for the first time as a toy, which inspired the design in the later episode. 4. On the title screen, we get to see a whole bunch of foreshadowing. The Grim Reaper. 5. Charon, who ferried the souls of the dead in Greek mythology. 6. A death's head, as is seen on Puritan-era New England headstones. 7. The woodsman at the bottom. 8. And a terrifyingly demonic Beatrice. 9. Those shadowy shapes, of course, are the bodies of our protagonists. Grim. 10. These evil, chittering creatures are the cute squirrels we see at the schoolhouse later on. 11.
No. Though I am lost, my wounded heart resides back home, in pieces, strewn about the graveyard of my lost love.
Wirt's poem is waxing, well, poetic about his crush Sarah, whom he last saw in the cemetery. 12.
Greg, you're gonna get us into trouble again.
Again? Too soon, Wirt. 13.
What in the world is going on?
Well, you're slapping yourself, and I'm answering your question, and...
No, Greg, a bird's brain isn't big enough for cognizance.
The first time we hear Beatrice's theme. One is a bird, two are the trees. Get it? 14. Greg both ruins and saves the day in a half second with his pants candy. 15. Ever wonder what a grist mill is? It's a grain mill. This one's powered by water wheel and owned by Beatrice's family. 16. Bluebirds. 17. Check out Wirt's shoes. They're mismatched. 18. Greg's not just having fun, he's practicing to knock the woodsman out. 19. Wirt's playing with a bilbo catcher. 20.
This chrysalis is all it is, huh?
Hear that? This creature, vicious though it is, isn't the beast, is what he was gonna say. 21. This isn't just a reference to Beatrice's family, it's also based on a real brand of potatoes. 22.
He steals the children.
The beast is the death of hope, as we see later, and the woodsman believes he stole his daughter. 23. This half moon never waxes nor wanes the unknown. It's also not a phase that's possible in the real world. 24. Speaking of the moon, Greg and Wirt are walking towards the moon, meaning they're either walking east or west, not north as the woodsman said. 25. Hear that train in the opening? 26. Pottsfield is probably named after the potter's field where the poor were buried. 27. Watching the series with Beatrice's betrayal in mind casts most of her actions into doubt. Is she really stuck, or was she scheming to get an excuse to lead the brothers astray? Interesting bluebird rules there. 28.
How about you and I ditch your brother?
Adelaide only needs one big strong child. 30.
So is it nice being a bird?
Nope.
Really big foreshadowing already.
I'm looking for a phone.
Phone lets us know that Wirt's not from this time period. 31. The lyrics of the song tell us the real story of Pottsfield. 32. A husking bee is a real thing, a party where you gather to husk corn. 33. This guy uses a cornucopia as a hearing aid. Visual Thanksgiving joke. 34. Beatrice doesn't do any work here. At all. Even after they were nice enough to provide a tiny bird shovel. 36.
I know she's never late, still anxiously I wait. Patient is the night.
As with most things in the series, Patient is the Night is probably about death. 36.
Maybe we'll just stay here in Pottsfield. It's nice here.
Wirt's jokingly referencing the Creepy Pumpkins line earlier.
Yeah, it's nice here.
37.
Yes, I want your help. Beatrice, serious.
Sounds kind of like taps, huh? Before it segs into Come Wayward Souls. 38. What are Greg and his frog doing? 39. Actual crickets.
So
40.
We'll just focus on getting you guys to Adelaide so I can wash my hands of this whole affair.
Wash my hands. Beatrice uses a lot of human expressions, foreshadowing that she used to be one. 41. This is a one-room schoolhouse that, like a TARDIS, is bigger on the inside. 42. Wirt's shoe is unlaced for this entire episode, even in his pajamas. 43. According to Langtree's song, Jimmy's only been gone 3 days. 44. Two Old Cat is a ball game which Greg probably overheard during Into the Unknown.
Yeah, man, there's lots of bat and ball games besides baseball. One old cat, two old cat.
45. Someone seems to have been locked in this dunce box for 12 days. 46. Not sure what Wirt was hoping for here. 47. DL? Yeah, Dark Lantern is the name of the tavern. 48. Greg consumes so much food in this episode, his last chance for a while. 2 full plates become empty, an entire turkey, ham, another plateful, sausage, all those plates, and toast and eggs. 49. Wirt's a little nervous about the neck-slitting implications there. 50. Even Fred and the frog are questioning this terrible song. 51. This guy is trying to play the violin upside down. 52.
You don't need directions, Pilgrim. You follow that compass inside your heart.
This guy's actually right. 53.
I saw a weird shadow and then stupidly flew into a tree and got knocked out.
Weird shadow is heavily implied to be the beast. 54. You're not supposed to be able to see the beast's body, but depending on your screen, you can see those skinny legs. 55. You can also see the beast's spinning silhouette during close-ups of the lamp. 56. Beatrice is kindly fed seeds here instead of human food, and given a booster seat made out of books. 57. Greg's making up a new song here.
Amazing.
Treasure, Heather.
Beatrice?
If we're going to Adelaide's, we need 2 cents.
2 cents refers to Karen's obol, a fee of a low-denomination coin buried with the dead to pay for a ferry to the afterlife. 59. Endicott thinks their greedy ooh is a ghost noise. 60. The steamboat is named McLaughlin Bros. After the publishing firm who made some of the earliest popular American board games. 61. The frog is more anthropomorphic than usual in this episode, even when he's in the background. 62. The triumphant sound of full frontal nudity. 63. Since Beatrice is having second thoughts about betraying Wirt and Greg, she tries to get them kicked off the boat. She expects Wirt's bassooning to be that bad.
Hey, Beatrice, thanks for supporting my bassooning.
Yeah, you're actually good.
64.
I don't have the embouchure for bassoon.
Embouchure is the shape of the lips around a mouthpiece of a wind instrument. The mouthpieces of a clarinet and a bassoon are way different. It's impressive that Wirt's concert wasn't full of squeaks. 65. Greg is so hungry that he's trying to eat leaves. This comes up later. 66. Adelaide's theme is appropriately played by strings. 67. Adelaide is playing a string game, possibly Cat's Cradle, when Beatrice enters. 68. There really was an old superstition that the night air or miasma was bad for you before it was understood how the plague spread. 69. Adelaide's cloak looks like the back of a widow spider, keeping with her spider and thread theme. 70. These embroidery scissors are purchasable today. 71. Subtle animation touch, the candles go out with the breeze. That happens through the whole scene to show how deadly the air is. 72.
The voice of the night, the beast of eternal darkness.
Adelaide's theme turns to Come Wayward Souls here to emphasize her ties with the beast. 73. The tinkling piano is the rain in these scenes. 74. Wirt gives the lantern a lot of abuse. 75.
We came here to burgle your turts.
No, it's not true.
It's true. Oh, okay, I give up.
See?
Wirt seems to think this defense against a charge of robbery would actually work. 76. These bells are also a real thing. 77. Greg's scared not because of Auntie Whispers waking up, but because the frog is swallowing the bell whole. 78. Wirt seems more dismayed than he'd normally be at losing Greg in a pond. 79. Wirt has a lot of bursts of insight that save the day.
Magical tiger.
The ringing of the bell commands you. Wait, that's dumb. It's almost like your soul is in this lantern. Whoa, yeah. What if the ghost he was talking about was actually all along, even leading us to this crazy lady? Beatrice, you're turning into an Adelaide tree. You were the beast all along.
80. Very poetic for her to get buried in forget-me-nots. 81. Lorna's complexion gets much less deadly white as soon as the spirit is gone. 82. Babes in the Wood is a folk story in which 2 siblings die in the wood and are buried in leaves. 83. They're riding in an old outhouse. There's gotta be a story there. 84. Foreshadowing Wirt's decision in the next episode here. There's also a duck, a pizza, a rabbit, customs that show up later on. 85.
A tiger? Magical tiger. A magical tiger.
Magical flying tiger, y'all! 86. Yep, Beatrice passed them right by. 87. Wirt's interests include interior design, model trains, cuckoo clocks, all things we can see in the back of his room. 88. One of the band posters on Wirt's wall is the Black Turtles. 89.
You're sinking like a stone before the tide. The river runs cold. The fight is over.
More lyrics about drowning. 90. Evidently one of Wirt's relatives was a Union infantry soldier in the Civil War. 91. Lots of little details imply that this takes place in the 1970s. Bicycle decorations, the boxy cars, Sarah's flight jacket, gaudy floral wallpaper, those mushroom jars. 92. The moon's already at the phase it is in the unknown. 93. The musical stings and sound effects in this episode sound very vintage sitcom-y.
Excuse me. Oh, no.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Hey, I was just kidding. Slow down, kids. You're gonna trip or something.
Run.
94. Hence the name. 95.
We're just gonna hang out and drink age-appropriate drinks.
Like juice?
Yeah, and whatever. Age-appropriate stuff that's not illegal.
They really are drinking juice. 96. Quincy Endicott, the only named gravestone. 97. The other tombstone is nameless, but has some neat Old English. 98.
We gotta name him for good luck.
I don't want to have anything to do with you or that frog.
Okay, I'll try to think of a name myself.
The frog only gets a name when Wirt helps out. 99. Following tradition, death is represented by a train.
There's an old black train coming, scraping along the aisle. You don't need no ticket, boys, it'll take you when it's time.
100.
Come on, Guy.
Guy. What the heck, Wirt? 101. Keep in mind the woodsman's advice.
Fall ill or lose hope, and your life shall pass into his crooked hands.
Wirt lost hope earlier, but here Greg is merely dying of cold, as you can see by his complexion. The Beast designed this game so Greg would have to fall prey to one or the other. 102. These are the same two sticks the woodsman threw out in the first episode. 103. The boys are hearing distance from the mill, meaning they spent the entire series walking in a circle. 104. The ceiling seems to have been patched up, but the walls are worse for wear and the water wheel is still broken. Oops. 105. Greg can be heard singing a bridge to Come Wayward Souls here, and later a Latin translation of Potatoes and Molasses.
Whoa. What happened here?
106. Wirt was definitely bluffing. He put the lantern down before the Beast took the darkness away. 107. Nice of the EMTs to save the frog. 108. Greg's hair is normally very smooth and neat, apparently. 109. The frog is wearing the hat from Sarah's costume. 110. Jason and the bird girl are holding hands after all. 111. The squirrels are also in attendance at the circus. And 112, the lantern wound up in Pottsfield. So thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. These are my own observations, so let me know if I got anything wrong. If you like this series, I really recommend buying the DVD, which has commentary from Pat McHale and Nick Cross, the official soundtrack on vinyl, and the companion comics, which answer a lot of questions the series didn't have time to get to.
Smell you later.